Hi everyone, I just had a note here on paper saying talk about the art challenge situation. So this is a reminder to myself just to mention a few things on camera relating to art challenges and being careful with them because of like corporate exploitation. This will also be a chance to test the other camera. Yay! Okay, so there's been a tiny bit of drama relating to art challenges recently. And I don't know whether I should like mention the actual challenges or companies or whatever by name, but this is just something that keeps popping up like year after year. So I think it's just worth mentioning. Maybe I should put this on because Remembrance Day is coming up as well. So art challenges in the 3D space are fantastic ways to learn and a good opportunity to get prizes, but I think there's always a bit of a menacing side, like an elephant in the room to it, in that you should never waste your time on unpaid work. I mean, I think there are exceptions to that. There are benefits to doing unpaid work in a lot of situations, and I don't think you should think about everything you do in the 3D space in terms of whether you're getting paid for it or not. I think that's kind of devaluing to the fun of art, and I've always said that people do artwork for different reasons. But there was always a controversial conversation about art tests when applying for jobs in the 3D field. It's happened a lot in like video game companies, VFX companies, etc., where when applying, you'll be provided a test to do. You can spend a lot of time and effort, that's unpaid time and effort, doing the test, building something of high value, and then it will get thrown away. If you're not selected as the candidate, then what have you done it for? Alternatively, there have been situations where that's happened. The company will take the result of the test, not hire you, and then use that result. You haven't been paid, it's effectively been free labor. In terms of art challenges, it's happened where I can imagine like a meeting's happened with marketing seniors. They've been sitting in a meeting going, how can we come up with good ideas for advertisements for our product? Let's do a challenge where people can design an advert for us and then the winner will be used. Not considering compensation for the winner, just saying, hey, the prize is we will use yours. And you can have the satisfaction of knowing that we used yours. Will anyone else know? No. Kind of leads into, you know, how being paid in exposure isn't any form of payment at all. But again, caveats abound. Now, over time, as a public-facing member of the Blender community, I've had some interactions with community members that, you know, I don't always like. I mean, I understand it, but I do want to stand my ground a bit. Whenever something happens to someone, in this case, if it's related to an art challenge, people will come to me and send me a message saying, hey, I had a bad experience in this art challenge from this company. Can you do something about it? As if I'm the lawyer of the community. I'm not qualified to do that. Why would you ask me to fight a company that I haven't had any interaction with? I didn't take part in that challenge, etc., etc. But it has happened. People come to me, they complain, they go, I just want to let you know. In some extreme cases, you have a responsibility to let people know that this company's done shady stuff with their art challenges. But I'm not going to do that. So that's why I'm doing this video, just to generally say, be aware that challenges and competitions aren't always what they seem. At the same time, I'm not going to be your like talking piece. And likewise, if we don't want companies to get you to do free work and not pay you for it, then don't expect me to do the free work of trying to fight your battles for you. Okay, so just laying that ground rule. Yeah, so some companies in the past have like offered prizes and then announced winners for the competition and challenges and then not provided the prizes. And I've seen it happen where the people running the challenge anticipated or hoped for higher participation to offset the cost of the prizes. What ended up happening was only a few people participated. And even though they had promised the awards, they must have felt, oh, we don't actually think this was a worthwhile endeavor and we don't really want to pay out for the prizes now because we didn't really get much engagement from the competition. But the thing is, from a legal perspective, again, I'm not qualified, but it's just common sense. If you promise the prizes and you announced winners, you got to follow through. So there may be a question of, if you do see an interesting looking challenge/competition with cool prizes being run by someone, how do you know if it's trustworthy? The reality is you don't, and you can't know if it's trustworthy. But I think much with critical thinking and research skills, generally across the board, do a little bit of research on the person hosting it, or in particular, the company hosting it. Are they a trusted part of the community? Have other people taken part in their things before? Have the awards been dished out before? Or alternatively, is it the first time doing something like this? I would be a bit suspicious if it's a large, well-known company that's doing a competition for the first time ever. Sure, they might be following in the footsteps of another company that's successfully done a competition where people were properly compensated, all awards paid up, etc. But as someone who's taken part in an expert panel before for like marketing stuff for large brands. If a random company, like pushing a product, has out of nowhere decided to do a competition, and especially if the focus of that competition is something like design an advert for us, I would be suspicious that they haven't really considered all aspects properly. It would be more like something that's just come out of a meeting room, but like, hey, we need a good idea to get people interested in this, and also we don't want to pay our own people to do the advert. Contrast that to something that's far more community centric. Things like, what is it? The Punisher challenges, which I've never really taken part in, but I know a lot of people do, right? Something like that has much more provenance, as in a historical track of people being happy with taking part. And there's like a whole, community spectrum thing. Although when looking at YouTuber type challenges, you need to go into things like that knowing that you're not really going to get anything back, or that's not always the case. Be aware, if going into art challenges, the reason why you're going into it, is it to win or is it for self-development? Which is why, like, whenever I've done like small art challenges on Discord in the past, 99% of them are always, hey, these are self-development challenges. There are no awards. You are taking part for the fun of it. Please learn something and have fun. I feel like that was always a healthy way of doing things. So if you're going into like a YouTuber-centric art challenge, I'd say keep that in mind as like your main force, your main inspiration driver. I will learn something and that's what I will take away. That will be my award from it. If there are prizes involved, great, but be ready to deal with the disappointment of that. It's always going to be a question of how much time are you willing to invest for your own self-validation for taking part. But the YouTuber space can also be a bit hit and miss, because while there are some great, like very community-centric ones, again, much like an earlier example we gave about more corporate competition type things, some art challenges might just be done purely for the reason of just having something to talk about on video or drawing people to the channel. Not because they really care about getting people to learn things, but just for the attention. And though sometimes I think, people that have been known for doing challenges in the past for a good reason, and, or being very community centric, etc. And this isn't about anyone in particular, so don't want people like starting to draw lines, but, oh, he's talking about this company, he's talking about this person, etc. No, if it becomes someone's job to run challenges, as in this is where the source of income comes from, and the vast majority of people involved aren't, compensated in any way, but again, it's up to you to make a choice about that, then by proxy, you are an unpaid employee for that creator. There is a lot of debate that can be said about that. But whenever something becomes someone's job, be wary of intention. So yeah, going back a bit, I've had about 2 or 3 complaints about art challenges over the last year or so. Again, nothing that I've run, talking about like other companies, creators, etc. In 1 or 2 of those cases, there were some pretty obvious like legal problems, but again, it's not my problem, so I shouldn't get involved in that. If you have a problem with an art challenge being run by someone else, you need to go and talk to a lawyer or someone more responsible who can actually get involved in that. I understand when something like that happens, you want to get the word out there, you want to warn people about the company, but you also want to get what you're owed. But just that side note, you can't ask me to risk getting into legal trouble in terms of libel when talking about another company, because what would I have gained from that? I've gained nothing and I've been sued. If a company owes you something, you need to deal with that properly. But that is a side note to make, because if something does happen to you in that way, you do want to have people that you can tell about it, which is why I would say that, again, if you see challenges and competitions being run by companies that don't have communities, maybe steer clear of them. Because again, in a lot of cases, there are creators who have large communities who successfully run really large challenges, and if anything went wrong with them, there is a huge base of relatable people, or other people who can relate with you, who have also participated in said challenge, who you can inform about the problem. You're more likely to get traction that way. It's a much more lonely endeavor if you're taking part in something that some random tech company just made up all of a sudden after a marketing meeting. You know what I mean? I think the bottom line here is just watch your time, be careful, only invest as much as you would be willing to lose in terms of time, and go into things with the mentality that what you're going to get out of it is self-developed rather than something that someone else is handing to you. And again, just because something like a competition may be popular, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a good investment of your time. But again, just depending on whatever you're looking to get out of it. So I know this has been like very vague. I understand that people might have liked me to have like picked out companies and creators and things, but I can't do that. Liability, all of that. The bottom line is, you might have heard of situations from certain companies in recent months and years and be like, oh, he's probably talking about that thing. But again, I've had a few complaints, so this is just like a vague general video to say, be careful, talk to the right people about it. I'm not gonna like fight individual battles for you because I'm just here to focus on my own things. Yeah, my patrons, my products, my little, bubble, my little world. I don't need anyone else's drama getting involved. Okay, it's my protected space. Is everyone okay with that? Otherwise, hope you're doing well, having a lovely day. If you're not having a lovely day, if you're struggling with something at the moment, then best wishes to you. I hope things improve soon. Okay, so thanks for watching, everyone. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time.